Hello, good morning. Happy New Year and welcome to this time of worship on the first Sunday of 2021, in which we'll think about the Epiphany, the coming of the King's wise men, and also something of an understanding of the covenant service too. I do hope that you had a good time over Christmas and at New Year, and that in those times you have been enabled to talk with family and friends, maybe even meet them and rejoice in that. Hope too that as we come into this new year, still somewhat confined and constrained in our homes, but not constrained in terms of our ability to meet for worship, that we will continue in joyous, peaceful fellowship as we find our varying ways in which we are enabled to meet, whether it's by engaging in the online worship that I and others will prepare, the emailed thoughts for the day, those who so diligently print those and literally take them round to friends for them to read, or those who still feel very needy and comfortable coming to our very much COVID secure places of worship and to engage in a sense of fellowship in corporate worship, which perhaps we know we can't always quite achieve at home. But nonetheless, God's Spirit remains powerfully with us all, wherever and however we choose to worship and gather in the name of Christ our Lord. Some of you will perhaps have known that there's been a strange conjunction of planets in the night sky, in which an extraordinarily bright star seems to appear. It isn't one star, it's a combination of a star and two planets, I believe, and it's sometimes known as the Star of Bethlehem, for it is perceived that this might have been the star that so attracted wise men to journey to follow it some 2,000 plus years ago. Of course, we don't know whether that was quite the case or not. And alas, on the day in which we could all have seen this conjunction of light in our night skies, the clouds descended and it was veiled from view. But here is a picture of the Star of David taken elsewhere in the world. Something to contemplate, the glory of God shining in the darkness, in the vastness of emptiness that sometimes perhaps our lives currently don't feel empty. No, God's presence is always with us. His light will always shine, and we will know his love forevermore. Within all that, we can rejoice. And so it is that we come to worship, and I'm going to share with you both readings for Epiphany and very much a sermon giving thoughts on the wise men, and that to be surrounded by the usual liturgy that we encounter when we have our covenant services, as we tend to in churches in this circuit in January.